proceed to do so. Instead, he just cut off a corner of Saul's robe and he spared his life. So that we are required as leaders to always do well. And then if we commit sin, even against our enemy, that does not exclude it from being sin. It's still a sin. And that is why David's conscience was still unsettled, despite him not killing David, because he was convicted of his intention. And,
Thank you very much.
Again,
thank you very much, Jane. Christabel, do you want to add anything? Christabella. Christabella, are you there?
Yeah.
Osaso, do you want to add anything? Or you are not in a place you can talk? Christabella, are you able to talk? Okay, I'll assume you are stuck. You are not in a place to talk. So, platinum rule, like we said last time, is raising the standard pretty high, because it means you don't just love those who love you. You love even those who hate you. And as a leader then, you do not go revenging on others. Today we look at the issue of a leader who chooses mediation rather than confrontation and fighting. That's the message we get from the book of 1 Samuel chapter 25. You know, a lot of people think that fighting others is what will sort out an issue. If one of your staff, you are the manager, somebody has annoyed you and you fire them, you may be firing somebody who is competent, who is going to have helped your organization, but because of your lack of mediation and wanting to agree things, a person who could have been improved is lost to the company. You are going to be the loser. You need to find a way of mediating issues so that people can agree with one another and work with one another despite the initial differences they have. Let's just look at the story in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 25 to just see how David behaved. Verse 1 says, "Now Samuel died, and all Israel assembled and mourned for him, and they buried him at his home in Ramah. Then David moved down into the desert of Paran." You know, this death of Samuel was quite an issue because he was the advisor of David. Your advisor is likely to die earlier than you. And that's why, even if you have advisors, people who help you in mediation, it's important to know God does not die and will be with you all the time. So even as you have differences with people, remember God is with you, determining your relationship with others and helping to sort out the differences between you and them. The death of Samuel, whom Saul respected, may bring an issue, a very serious issue. But when you know God, it certainly means that you can continue and trust God's ability to help you. Look at verse 2. A certain man in Moab who had property there at Carmel was very wealthy. He had 1,000 goats and 3,000 sheep, which he was shearing in Carmel. His name was Nabal, and his wife's name was Abigail. She was an intelligent and beautiful woman, but her husband was surly and mean in his dealings. He was a Cenobite. We are being introduced to somebody whom David is going to have a very serious problem with. Now, we are also being introduced to the future wife of David. This lady, it was going to be a future wife of him. The thing we get to know about it is that this woman, Abigail, was very intelligent. And because she was intelligent, despite the Nabal being a rich and foolish person, things were sorted out. What we are learning in the process, you need to develop a relationship at home with a spouse who is able to help you in terms of intelligence and to complement you in your area of weakness. That way you'll be a better team. And in the issues of mediating with others, you don't need somebody who is your relative who tells you, how could he call you like that? If you are beaten. That's what Jezebel did. Jezebel did with Ahab. And it caused him a lot of trouble. But when it comes to Abigail, the matters are very different, because she actually is able to bring peace with helping the husband not to end up fighting. Look at verse 4. While David was in the wilderness, he heard that Nabal was shearing sheep. So he sent 10 young men and said to them, go up to Nabal at Carmel and greet him in my name. Say to him, long life to you, good health to you and your household, and good health to all that is yours. Now I hear that it is sheep shearing time. When your shepherds were with us, we did not mistreat them, and the whole time they were at Carmel, nothing of theirs was missing. Ask your own servants, and they will tell you. Therefore, be favorable to my men, since you come at a festive time. Please give them your servants and your son. Give your servant and your son David whatever you can find. You know, David had an army of 600 people. He could easily have demanded, but he is trying to be friendly and seeking the help of this man and stating expectations. We are learning here, state your expectation before doing the work to avoid misunderstanding, because David, in helping these people, expected that he is being friends. And because he is being friends with them, if they will be friends back. But according to Nabal, the fact that you help my people does not mean I help you at all. A lot of the disagreement between us and our staff, between us and other people, is because we have expectations that they are not stated. David expected to be paid by Nabal, but he had not stated it. Nabal felt, I did not ask you to help my people, I can't pay you. And there started a fight that could easily bring destruction. My friend, if you are dealing with people and you have not stated your expectations, if they don't do what you expected of them, do not, like David, try to fight them because they do not meet your expectations. And yet you did not state expectations at the beginning. If you want me to pay you for doing something for me, tell me from the beginning. That way we shall mediate our relationship so that we are at peace with one another. Having and declared expectations, we always separate close friends. Look at verse 9. When David's men arrived, they gave Nabal this message in David's name. Then they waited. Nabal answered David's servant, who is this David? Who is this son of Jesse? Many servants are breaking away from their masters these days. Why should I take my bread and water and the meat I have slaughtered for my shearers, and give it to men coming from who knows where. Wow, what a rude statement. He is not doubting that his people are helped. But if only he had even refused but not been rude, it would have helped in the relationship between the two. A good work will keep away wrath. A good word will keep away wrath, or a bad one will start a war. In our relationship with others, if you want to be at peace with others, we need to use the right words. Even when you disagree with me, disagree agreeably. That's not what Nabal did. Instead, he is very rude to the people that were sent by David. Verse 12. David's men turned around and went back. When they arrived, they reported every word. David said to his men, each of you, strap on your sword. So they did, and David strapped his on as well. About 400 men went up with David, while 200 stayed with the supplies. War is starting. Hard feelings will make you do things you regret later. David has been hurt by the rude words. But instead of thinking, do I really want to kill this person just because he is rude? He is so hurt. And when you are hurt, you are unlikely to behave in a sane manner. You can bring a lot of destruction to your leadership, to your organization, when you act out of anger. Obviously, we agree Nabal was bad. He's the one who was rude. But David is also reacting badly by acting on impulse. But war is now being set. 400 people are ready to go and kill this family of Nabal. Hard feelings will make you do things you yourself will regret later. Let us learn in this subject of living at peace with others through mediation. Let's learn to check our feelings. Don't act out of your emotions. But David acted on his. Look at verse 14. One of the servants told Abigail, Nabal's wife, David sent messengers from the wilderness to give our master his greetings, but he hurled insult at them. Yet these men were very good to us. They did not mistreat us, and the whole time we were out in the fields, near them, nothing was missing. Night and day they were aware around us, and the whole time we were herding our sheep near them. Now think it over and see what you can do, because disaster is hanging over our master and his whole household. He is such a wicked man that no one can talk to him. Are you a leader like that? Where people can see you are about to get into destruction, but they dare not talk to you because you not listen. That's how Nabal was. He is ready for a fight, and yet he doesn't have the capacity to fight the people of David. Are you like that? Who is always wanting a fight, and you end up dead? And somebody who is not reachable, accessible to his own stuff. So these people are saying, we know when we talk to him, he will not listen. But fortunately for them, they knew he had an intelligent wife, and the wife was willing to listen. My friend, respect the brains, even if they are from the lowest of your servants. You need to give your messengers the impression that the ideas will not be wasted. That way, even a messenger, even your secretary, is likely to tell you something that will help you. In this case, these servants who are ignored by Nabal, he never even asked them anything about the experience. They are the ones that will help avert the disaster. Look at verse 18. Abigail acted quickly. She took 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, 5 seahs of roasted grain, 100 cakes of raisins, and 200 cakes of pressed figs, and loaded them on donkeys. Then she told her servants, "Go on ahead, I'll follow you." But she did not tell her husband Nabal. What a wise woman. She knew this was a matter that needs to be thought over. There are people who have wise actions but late actions. David is coming. If she does not meet him before he comes, there will be destruction. So she quickly acts and starts moving towards David, where David is coming from, so that he can meet him earlier and try to appease him, so that he does not destroy the family of Nabal. Timely action can help you avoid disaster. What is it you are failing to do and you are waiting for collision? Instead of going to apologize to somebody, instead of trying to give a wise word to somebody, you are waiting until you will be annoyed and you end up in a fight. If you want to believe at peace with the people, you need to say what needs to be said correctly and in a timely way. Look at verse 20. As she came riding her donkey into a mountain ravine, there were David and his men descending towards her, and she met them. David had just said, "It's been useless all my watching over this fellow's property in the wilderness, so that nothing of his was missing. He has paid me back even for good. May God deal with David, be it ever so severely, if by morning I live alive, one meal of all belong to him." So I declare death. He intends to kill everybody. Wow. Passion to do good or evil will give you speed. David is in a hurry to go and kill because he is very hard. He has a passion and is going at a very high speed to do destruction. Verse 23. When Abigail saw David, she quickly got off her donkey and bowed down before David with her face to the ground. She fell at his feet and said, "Pardon your servant, my lord, and let me speak to you. Hear what your servant has to say. Please pay no attention, my lord, to that wicked man Nabal." Can you imagine? He's calling the servant, his boss, or the husband, foolish. Which is true, but it's a way of telling the David who is coming to kill, you are dealing with a fool. He is not really knowing what he is saying. He is just like his name, the word says. His name means fool, and folly goes with him. And as for me, your servant, I did not see the men my Lord sent. And now, my Lord, as surely as the Lord your God lives, and as you live, since the Lord has kept you from bloodshed, and from avenging yourself with your own hands, may your enemies and all who are intent on harming you, my Lord, be like Nabal. And let this gift which your servant has brought to my Lord be given to the men who follow you. That is now what is called mediation, the subject of our discussion. In other words, instead of allowing a fight to see who will win, and in the process many people will die, why don't you bring a case and argue your case? Which is what they are doing. Let me ask you, when you have an issue with someone, do you look for a wise way of agreeing with them, or you allow a fight? In mediation, recognize evil that is done, but appeal for mercy. This lady is not saying that what was done to David was good. She admits it was very bad. But then she argues, the man who said the bad words is a fool, and it's not a good idea that you kill and his bloodshed will be on your hands. I hope that's what you have in mind when you deal with the people. that you are able to see that it's not in your interest to kill them. Look at verse 32. David said to Abigail, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, who has sent you today to meet me." In other words, the appeal has worked. David has realized that he is going to end up with the bloodshed, and God will hold him responsible for killing, and yet it's a very small matter. Beyond people's words, hear the voice of God and obey. In fact, David is not saying that just the other words of Abigail. Listen to verse 32 again. "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, who has sent you today to meet me." He can see the hand of God in this lady coming to meet him, because he was certainly going to murder, and God does not like murder. So as you listen, even when you are very annoyed by somebody, listen whether God is talking through your enemy, is talking through somebody who is trying to mediate between you and your enemy. And when you hear God's voice, even if you look down on your enemy, you cannot ignore God's voice, and that will help to bring peace. Verse 36, when Abigail went to Nabal, he was in the house holding a banquet like that of a king. He was in high spirits and very drunk, so she told him nothing at all until daybreak. Then in the morning, when Nabal was sober, his wife told him all these things, and his heart failed him, and he became like a stone. About 10 days later, the Lord struck Nabal, and he died. You know, this guy, maybe even by the time he's being rude to David, is drunk. Alcohol will make a foolish man even more foolish. That's why we as Christians do not encourage even a little wine, even a little alcohol, because it will bring you to destruction. It will bring you to say things that will bring disrespect to God's name, that will dishonor the glory of God. That's why you don't take it like Nabal did. And so if you want peace with people, avoid drinking. That way you are able to talk to them in a sane manner, instead of reaching where you say things. Say, "Sorry, I was drunk," but the person is really annoyed, and you have really destroyed whatever it is you are doing. Look at verse 39. When David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, "Praise be to the Lord, who has upheld my cause against Nabal for treating me with contempt. He has kept his servant from doing wrong, and has brought Nabal's wrongdoing down on his own head." Then David sent word to Abigail, asking her to become his wife. His servants went to Carmel and said to Abigail, "David has sent us to you to take you to become his wife." My friend, God does not want you to revenge. Why? He says, "Vengeance is mine, says the Lord." That's why mediation is much better than taking revenge against the people who are undercutting you. Because if they really are undercutting you, finally, God will handle them. Because God does take revenge for his servants, even if they themselves do not take revenge. But he doesn't do it at your time. He does it at his time. Verse 41, she bowed down with her face to the ground and said, "I'm your servant, and I'm ready to serve you and wash you at the feet of the Lord's servant." Abigail quickly got on a donkey, and attended by her 5 female servants, went with David's messengers and became his wife. What was David admiring in this woman? Intelligence. Intelligence will make you more attractive than even physical beauty. And it's important that you understand that. So in a mediation, please have that inner intelligence, inner beauty, that will make people easily agree with you, easily accept your appeal, and in the process, there will be peace as you work with others. The Lord bless you. Thank you very much. The meeting is back to William.
Asante sana ndugu Ng'ang'a. You have reminded us this morning that we should exercise